Hope it works. You never know until you are live. Grrrr! Greetings, humans. Greetings, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Bear here. 29-year veteran of the woods, and today, boy oh boy, I tell you what, people, it is, believe it or not, it is in the middle of the summer, which is a good thing. It is National Iced Tea Day. Yes, indeed. So Bear's got his... I don't know if we can hear that or not. Oh, God, now I'm spilling tea everywhere off, for crying out loud. Anyways, there is iced tea in the glass here. Which Bear is enjoying. I hope you are enjoying your summer, or your weekend, and your iced tea all in one here, people. Yes, indeed. All right, well, we've got a number of things to get into. Everything's dying, people. Everything's dead. As Harrison Ford is looking up into the sky there, dead on arrival. Dead on arrival. We'll talk about Harrison Ford and what the hell is it called? Indiana Jones and the destiny of diabetes or something like that. Bear is not sure. Doesn't know. Doesn't really care either. Doesn't really care. Gonna be, I don't know, kind of an interesting movie out there. But let's get into it. Let's get into it, people. Where are we, for crying out loud? Come on, Bear. One of these days, professional show. Professional show. We will do it, people. We will, I promise. All right, let me find the news here, because we've actually got some comics, well, sort of, I guess, comics news, maybe, a little bit. Chuck Dixon, we'll call him an honorary member of Comicsgate out there. The destiny of diabetes, says Derpy. I agreed to have Derpy here. Yes, indeed. All right, folks, from Delving into Comics, the good folks over there, John F. Trent. Latest update here, he says, as Marvel kills the Punisher. What? They killed the Punisher? Oh, for crying out loud. A longtime Punisher creator, Chuck Dixon, Dix Alfred Dixon, announces the Black Warrant series. It says Marvel Comics and writer Jason Aaron wrapped up their most recent 12-issue Punisher series by killing off Frank Castle. What a great way to in your comics by killing off the main creator. Or main character there, I guess I should say. Watch out, Chuck. Might come after you. But vigilante justice, rather, is not leaving the comic book medium anytime soon, as longtime Punisher writer Chuck Dixon announces his new series, Black Warrant. Well, let's check that out. He's got a... Let's see if I can find it here. Where am I? Come on, a bear. Crying out loud. There we go. There is the, what does he call it? Black Warrant? Interesting character. Kind of a tease there, I suppose, of the character. So, there we go. Gone but not forgotten, apparently. Gone but not forgotten. Anyways, they have the interesting cover here. Punisher all tied up. I don't know about this one, people. I don't know about this one. Anyways, there he is. I don't know. Did they change up his logo, I suppose, on his chest there? It used to be just the skull. It looks a little different there. I'm not sure if this is like a multiverse thing or what the heck is going on here. Anyways, in the 12th and final issue, they go on here delving into comics. Castle is captured by members of the Avenger, including Doctor Strange. Could have a doctor in there. Wolverine. Oh, we got a Wolverine story here in just a minute. Black Widow, Moon Knight, and Captain America. He is subsequently berated, God, by nearly all of them for the crimes he committed while leading the Hand. Ooh, talk to the Hand. Derpy says, nah, it's more like a destiny of more money. Well, we'll see. We'll see on that one. We have actually got, I've got it right up here. We'll talk about it in just a minute here. But, yeah, we will see. We'll see if it actually kind of does good or not. $60 million. Oh, we got a long way to go. Of course, I'm showing you that, and I don't have it up on the screen there. Bear with me. There we go. I was trying to show it. Bear is trying to do a professional show, but today, people, is not that day. Not that day. However, he's surprised when the last person to interrogate him is his resurrected wife, Maria. Wow! The Punisher? Resurrection? What the hell's going on here, man? Not only is he surprised by her visiting him in the cell, but she informs him he was going to divorce him before she and her children were gunned down in New York City. Let's take a look at that. Take a look at that, people, because that is not the cover art, for crying out loud. Professional show, yada, yada, yada. Maria! Maria! Or Maria, I guess I should say. He says, how are you here? The priestess lied, of course, she says. The magic of the Citadel made it seem like I would wither and die if I ever left its grounds. But Doctor Strange took those bonds away. This is a Predator comic? What the hell's going on here, man? Let's see. He says, good, that's good. That means you can. And she says, talk to the hand. Talk to the hand, Punisher. I tell you, if you needed a sort of an indication, drawing of what a Karen would look like, that's probably pretty spot on there. She says that means I can finally finish what I was trying to tell you that dark day in the park. We're done, Frank. I want a divorce. Wow. That even after you came back from the dead, you're like, yeah, no, let's not do this. Let's not do this. Oh, Ed, since technically I'm still dead, I've already got it. Well, congratulations, I guess. I think they go on like she wants like half of his stuff or something like that, and Punisher's like, yeah, whatever, go ahead and take it. I am a broken man for you, Karen. Broken down. I don't know. I guess they just don't really like their customers out there that much. If they say, all those people out there, we just need to educate them. And then they say, no, we don't need educating. We like the Punisher. And they say, okay, we're gonna kill the Punisher. Good luck with that. Derpy says it's gonna be bad, but I have more hope in this new one. One more than the last one. Well, I don't know. They're topping aliens with time travel. It's hard to do that. Time travel is kind of hard to do in movies. You could do Back to the Future. That's pretty good. Oh god, what was the one with Ashton Kutcher in it? Was it the Butterfly Effect? Was that the name of the movie? Where he like goes back in time, but it keeps changing, much like a butterfly effect in Chaos Theory. It keeps changing things, so he has to keep going back. It wasn't like a DeLorean he got into. It was like I don't know. It was like psychosis. Like he could do it like talking to like a therapist or something like that. It was kind of odd. Very odd movie. Interesting movie, but odd out there. Or as Punisher would say, hurrah! I have no idea what that means. After Maria informs him that he already lost his family, Castle, who had been previously been depicted as a struggling Catholic, or maybe struggling with Catholics, prays to the Beast to grant him one more last wish. As Captain America and the Avengers are about to inform him of his fate, Castle's wish is seemingly granted, and he removes himself from existence, with Doctor Strange remarking, the Punisher is no more. Poof! Gone. Bye-bye. I don't know. Hey there, Grant. Good to have you here. Oh, let's see. Derpy goes on. He says, let's see, because the specific villains of the originals are back, but the treasure isn't, a religious item, so it's not interesting. Well, it could be really. You never know. Oh, I got one or two other stories, but we'll jump into that here in just a minute. We'll go ahead and just jump right on into that. Let me finish up the Punisher here. Finish up. Because everything's dying, people. Oh, for crying out loud. Anyways, it goes on. However, the book's epilogue shows Castle has arrived in Weird World. Bear wants to go to Weird World. And he's taken at least 4 orphans under his wing and built a shelter to keep them safe. There's children in Weird World. Bear will get it one of these days. He's also wielding a giant axe rather than his typical repertoire of various firearms and explosives. Well, it could be an explosive fire axe. You never know. You never know. So they didn't really kill him. He's just in the. Are those feet? What the heck? What is going? Are those feet? I don't know. That's a weird world, man. That is a weird world. As Punisher is killed off or exiled to Weird World, Fox Day Publishing Comic, Arcaven Comics, and scribe Chuck Dixon announced their brand new series titled Black Warrant that aims to supplant the Punisher as the #1 comic book vigilante. We saw that just a minute ago. Where was that? There we go. There he is. Dixon detailed, it's not exactly a secret that the Punisher is my favorite character to write. For whatever reason, I have an affinity for the guy, and the stories came easy. But if we're being honest, Frank Castle was never a good fit at Marvel Comics. Wow. There were always restrictions when writing about him, he explained. Editors waved me off for going too far, he says. Going too far. Let's see. I think I got one of those panels there. It went too far, people. Blowing up all those people went too far. Well, he doesn't have to worry about the editors at Marvel anymore. He says, now I'm working on Black Warrant, which is in the same vigilante justice genre, except that the guardrails, training wheels, and safety bumpers have all been taken off. So there you go. There he is, right there, all taken off. He's added, I'm allowed to take this genre in places it's never been, and having a blast doing it. Well, very cool. Very cool. Anyways, it goes on, talks about that. Vox Day, people want to work with Vox Day, that's fine. Just some issues that Beer has with Vox Day there. But there you go. Some interesting stuff. I'm glad, a lot of times people complain. It says, Punisher, they killed him in the worst possible way, blah, 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 blah. At least Chuck Dixon's taking it in stride. He says, they can kill him off, but they can't kill off the idea of it. So there you go. Some good stuff there. Good stuff. Thank you. Thank you, Chuck. Doing some great work out there. Doing some great work. All right. Well, we are going to broom the couple other Beer stories that Beer had here. Go ahead and get right on into it with, Indiana Jones here. Let me find, where am I at here? 1 second, people. Find you people. There we are. Grant reminds Bear of the butterfly effect. Yes, there we go. The Ashton Kutcher movie. Derpy says, we'll see how it goes, though I'll see it because it's been a while. Yeah, well, it has, even for Harrison Ford there. It has been a while here. Anyways, we've got this thing here from, bring it up here from Deadline says, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. That's the name of it. The Dial of Destiny. To ring up around $60 million opening. Here's why. Early box office outlook. Of course, Deadline, let's see, who is this? Anthony D'Alessandro. Deadline kind of shills out there for the studios, especially for Disney out there, Lucasfilm and everything. So they're basically trying to explain, hey, here's why this movie is not going to do really well with only a $60 million opening here. In the wake of the world premiering comms to a lackluster film reviews at 50%. Holy cow. That is almost worse than The Little Mermaid out there. At Disney and Lucasfilm's Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny is currently looking at a $60+ million domestic opening. And there we go. The movie opens on June 30th, headlining into what is conceivably a 5-day play period, given that Independence Day falls on a Tuesday. So he's trying to get all the days in there. Actually, I've got some beautiful shots of that. There we go. There's Indiana Jones, looking very old and very sad and very, I can't do this anymore. A Dial of Destiny's 3-day is down from the $100.1 million 3-day of the last movie, 2008's Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. In this latest sequel reps the finale for the entire franchise. Let's see, it goes on. It says, Crystal Skull opened on a Thursday over a Memorial Day weekend, earning a total over 5 days of $159.9 million. Logan filmmaker James Mangold took over filming for the finale from the franchise architect Steven Spielberg. Currently, by the way, hey, I think I can do better than Steven Spielberg can. No, you can't. No, that's why, like, Jurassic Park 3 didn't do that well. You know, this one, I don't know. Currently, Dial of Destiny is tracking significantly with older guys, for crying out loud, over younger, which has many comping the pick to the Daniel Craig 007 finale, The No Time to Die, and 2018's Mission Impossible Fallout. Both, let's see, 55 million for No Time to Die and 61 million for Impossible. Some are saying a $70 million start for Dial of Destiny. That's quite a stretch, realizing that Lionsgate John Wick Chapter 4 opened at 73, with double the tracking metrics that Dial of Destiny is showing. Disney will need to pick up the slack in the coming weeks in their marketing to get more interest from the younger guys. Oh, they're finally going after younger fellas out there. Who knew in Hollywood? Their distraction now being Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse in theaters and the upcoming Warner Brothers DC The Flash on June 16th. However, the hard word of mouth out of Cannes is quite the hurdle. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, one of these days, wasn't beloved by many. That is an understatement. Holy cow. Settled at 77% certified fresh and a B cinema score versus the previous 1989 installment of The Last Crusade, which earned 84% from fresh critics and a solid A. That is definitely, probably, I don't know. People might say the first movie was the best movie. I don't know. Probably The Last Crusade was the best movie if Beer had to put his stink on it. With Dial of Destiny at $60 million 3 days, that's easily the second best start for the Indiana Jones franchise. This is where they get into a puffery out here. Let's see, they say in the box office area, Last Crusade opened to a $29 million 3 day. 1984's Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom at $25 million. And 1981's Raiders of the Lost Ark the pick opened at $8.3 million in 1982. Of course, they never tell you what that is adjusted for freaking inflation, so that doesn't really tell you that much. So actually, I've got it right here. Let me find it. Oh, for crying out loud! Come on, iPad. One of these days. There we go. Okay, so Indiana Jones: The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, according to who is this? Box Office Mojo. Let's see. It was opening $100.1 million, 4,260 theaters, on a budget of $185 million. Let's see. Domestically, $317 million. Internationally, $473 million, for a total worldwide of $790 million. From what Beer hears, the new movie, the Dial of, what is it called? What the hell is it called again? The Dial of Destiny. For crying out loud, I keep forgetting that. The Dial of Destiny basically needs to make $10 million more than the previous film just to break even. We're not even talking profits here, just to break even. So let's see, they had a opening of $100 million, and here coming in around $60 million. That's probably not where they really want it, to be. So we actually have some information here. Let me go to it. Another Deadline article. Dante D'Alessandro. They're talking about Transformers here. Might talk about that in just a minute here, but it had a good headline. What was that? Here we go. Let me show that. Oh, get it off of that lady. Ay. Oh, man. A face like a cutting board. As they go on here, they're long article here. kind of a pull quote here. They're saying the bad and the good news in the overall film marketplace. All films are grossing an estimated $169 million, which is down 21% from the same June weekend a year ago, which did $214.8 million. That's when Universal, The Great Jurassic World Dominion, opened to 145. However, we are plus or minus 2% from the same time frame in 2019, when The Secret Life of Pets #2 debuted. Oh boy, what a great movie! But the pull quote here, pretty much the entire doesn't matter which movie we're talking about, Spider-Man, God, the stupid mermaid movie, Guardians of the Galaxy. Might not qualify. Came out a little bit beforehand, but all of that stuff down 21%. So let's just say they earned $100 million from the last movie there. Down 20% is what $80 million or so. So they're saying that even this one is going to be even lower than that. It's $60 million. So Deadline, which they're trying to promote, a little puffery here, saying, hey, it's only going to open at $60 million, which is quite a bit less than everybody else there. So kind of interesting there when you kind of take much like Harrison Ford here, taking a look at things. Kind of interesting there. So we shall see. We shall see how well it does. They'll probably come out with the 4 or 5 day opening and say, oh wow, look how great it was. Well, the last time it was a 3 or 4 day opening, so they're going to be getting an extra day and probably coming in a good $40 million short. Good $40 million short there. So, not looking that good at all. Not looking that good at all. So, anyways, this was the other part of it. Transformers came out this week. Currently has an edge over Spidey in the weekend showdown with a $60 million opening. So, Transformers came in $60 million. Spider-Man not doing that bad. $55.8 million. So doing really well there. Usually during the second weekend, it kind of drops off. So if it's a good film, a lot of times people either good word of mouth or, hey, people want to go see it a second time or maybe a third time. So it's really kind of interesting. The second weekend, does it drop off, 20%? Does it drop off 50%? Does it drop off 75%? So we'll see. We'll see. But Spider-Man doing pretty good there. But they say, but today, we'll still determine whether the latter, pulls ahead. That would be Spider-Man. Is the difference really a matter of Rise of the Beast gobbling up the IMAX? Probably. They had a issue with, I think it was the Oppenheimer movie that's going to come out, Christopher Nolan. It was only going to be in IMAX for 2 or 3 weeks, and then it was getting bumped by whichever movie is following that. So he was kind of a little bit aggravated because a lot of the movie profit actually comes from the IMAX or what they call the PLF screens, the bigger screens out there. So we shall see. We shall see out here. Great to see Amy. Great to see Amy here. And I'm assuming Melissa as well. Oh, by the way, I tried it, something new this time. Tried to put in the posts, where you see it hopefully ahead of time. Hey, we're doing the show, 8 o'clock, hoping to see everybody there, blah, blah, blah. So hopefully that came across. If not, we'll see if the notifications came through. But, man, we've been having some issues with those notifications out there. Yes, indeed. So, I don't know if people are interested in the new Transformers film, but Beer actually came across. It was from earlier in the week, Thursday out there. Oh, also same time, 19% behind the Summer of Avengers. So even Spider-Verse doing really well, coming in 19-20% below what they were doing. I mean, Avengers was a really, really, really big movie, but still, you're figuring about 15-20% decline from, either 2019 to even last year. Um, so when they're trying to come up and they're going to say, oh yeah, Indiana Jones is going to do great. Yeah, maybe. I mean, even if the movie is terrific, might still at least maybe 10% behind some of the stuff from the last time there. So we'll see. We will see. But anyways, the Little Mermaid, man, oh man, did that cratered. that cratered. $4 million compared to 10.1 with Spider-Man on Thursday. Has it booked at 4,320 theaters? I think they're talking about Spider-Man. Little Mermaid booked at 4,300. Yeah, this is a very oddly worded sentence, but I think they're talking about Spider-Man. Because Little Mermaid is week 3, which really went down. Really went down. The Boogeyman, I don't know anything about it. Not really doing that well. Guardians of the Galaxy, hanging in there. Hanging in there. Bear was questioning. It's, I don't know, but it looks like they're doing okay. I believe these are all domestic numbers, so you probably double it for overseas there, except for Little Mermaid. Guardians doing pretty good. They probably made their money. And then we'll see profits. But Fast X, man, oh man, not good. Not good at all. I think we can go ahead and say that Fast X is pretty much a flop. 138.9 domestically. I'm sure they did really well overseas, but still, double it or even triple it. I mean, you're talking less than $400 million there. So I don't know. I don't think that's what Universal and is The Rock in that movie, or did he skip it, or was it Vin Diesel? I forget. Bear's only seen like 3 of them, so I don't even recall. Vin Diesel was in the first one there, but there you go. So, anyways, Fast X not doing the best out there. Is Indiana Jones out? Asked Amy. No, it is not. It is coming in. Let me go back to it. When was that? Towards the end of the month here. Towards the end of the month. Moving opens on June 30th. June 30th out there. So we still got a couple weeks. What we were talking about was just estimates. Estimates here. Domestic estimates. $60 million. Not looking as a comparison. Bear has it right here. The previous one. Indiana Jones 4. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Oh, God. Bear could... there's scenes in there that are really, really good, but when you combine the scene X with scene Y, it just completely just falls apart. It's like, God, what were they even thinking? What was Shia LaBeouf's character's name? I forget. He's like swinging with the monkeys through the trees, and then he's like sword fighting with Kate Blanchett. And it's like, why? Why riding through the forest? It's like, why? This is completely silly. So anyways, the fourth movie, $100 million in its first opening weekend. Only either 3 or 4 days there. So $60 million less. And I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but you're probably looking at probably a $300 million movie here. So not looking pretty good. Crystal Skull, worldwide $790 million. Bears heard within the 800 to $1 billion range is where they're looking at Dial of Destiny. So we'll see. We will see, but I doubt it. Bear doubts it out there. Bear doubts it. Grant has not seen any of the Fast and the Furious. The Fast and the Furious. Don't get those two movies confused. The first movie's pretty good. The second one's okay. If Beer remembers correctly, the third one they went over to Japan. That was a pretty good. It was the Drift movie. The Drift one. Didn't see any after that, so I couldn't tell you about any of the other ones. They kind of compared it to like James Bond, so I don't know if you're if you're into the James Bond stuff and the gadgets and the cars, I'm sure it's okay. Hey, just make sure you turn that brain off for a while. Turn it back on afterwards. But yeah, there you go. There you go. Amy says, I feel like if your movie makes $135 million and it wasn't profitable, the problem wasn't your sales, it was your budget. No, $100 million movie for a summer tentpole. If you're talking about summer tentpole movies, probably easily 150 to $200 million, easily for those type of movies. So, 135 might make it in the fall or the spring, maybe. That might work. They just the problem is, yes, not only are the movies getting expensive, but the stakes, they have to keep raising the stakes, so your budget is dependent on your stakes, right? So you wouldn't have like $100 million budget with two people in the room talking to each other. That wouldn't, I mean, you would have to have, like, I don't know, Julia Roberts and Denzel Washington, or, one of those type actors, huge draw type actor, that sort of, Tom Cruise, and, I don't know, well, I was gonna say Margot Robbie, but she's not a big draw anymore, I don't know, one of those type actresses, even still. So, as your stakes rise, the budget also has to be kind of corresponded with it. So, your two characters talking in a room, that might be your $2 to $5 million film, and it kind of the stakes kind of raise. Okay, we need to save the family. We need to save the family dog. So, your $20 million film. We need to save the town. Okay, so that might be your $50 to $75 million film. Oh, we need to save, I don't know, the entire state, the entire Atlantic seaboard or whatever. Oh, that's your, $150 million mill. We need to save the entire world. Oh, okay, well that's, your $150 to $200 million film. Well, we need to save the entire galaxy. Well, there goes your $250 million film or whatever. So they keep as the stakes keep raising, also the budget keeps raising up there. So there you go. They need to go back to more practical effects and maybe hire not so famous actors. The draw number one, so okay, let's just say in the new Indiana Jones movie they replaced Harrison Ford. Okay, who are we going to replace him with? In the past, Beer's heard maybe like a Chris Pratt, that sort of character. But you still need Chris Pratt type money. So, okay, who would be a great draw for an Indiana Jones, a Dial of Destiny movie that we're going to replace Harrison Ford with, and not Butterface over there. Who would you come up with? Practical effects? Practical effects are expensive. That's why they do them in the CGI. CGI used to be kind of cheap when they would kind of farm it out to, Korea, sometimes Vietnam, some of those places. China, not so much because they'd be giving away everything. And it would show up online before the movie even showed up. So, yeah, you can do practical effects, but really it's how you're going to shoot it, So, do you really need that huge wide shot of, 50 different characters fighting, in front of, an exploding nuclear reactor and blah, 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 that sort of deal? Or could you do it where, the stakes between the two characters are a lot higher and you feel the impact between the characters, but you don't need that same wide shot. You don't need 50 different characters as backup. You could do it, but practical effects are expensive. Practical effects. Okay, you figure that. Okay, now you gotta get your stunt coordinators and all that. Anytime you're doing okay, let's just say you could get Chris Pratt, and he's not. It takes $2 million to do the movie. He's working really cheap. You still have to have insurance on him. So even though Chris Pratt might be cheap, his expense, his insurance isn't going to be cheap. So, yeah, a lot of times it just kind of depends. You know, you could do really cheap. Um, uh, they tried to do it with the Star Wars stuff. They tried to put really nice looking Star Wars movie stuff on the small screen with a smaller budget. It just doesn't work. It really doesn't work. They could have, you know, you could have done some different things there, Mandalorian or whatever, but you still really need those big special effects in there, especially when your whole franchise is known for that. So, there you go. Or Grant says, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Half of the time, Bear doesn't know what he's talking about. Right? Let's see. Amy asked, well, it was a movie where people drive fast. That's true. That is true. It'd look kind of odd if they were just racing like golf carts or something like that. That would be kind of odd. Amy has a good corollary here. She says, the more dogs and people you need to save, the more it costs. There you go. There you are. Grant says I had the wrong idea. I was thinking back to the bridge of the Enterprise where they would tilt the camera and all the actors would fall and stumble to the other side of the bridge. There is a really good YouTube channel out there. He just put out a new video, I think the past couple of days or so. Let me write it here in the chat. I don't have it right in front of me here, but go check out Junk Ball. He does a lot of good Star Trek stuff. Bear had no idea. Let's see, it was the Next Generation. It might have been DS9, and it may have been Voyager. I'm not sure. Anytime when they had like any of the like they're on the bridge where they had like, you know, they're getting shot at or something like that, and like a panel explodes, you know, you'd see all the effects, you know, all the sparkle effects and everything. Bear had no idea until he caught this channel. They had rocks. They had rocks on the Enterprise, so like a lot of the what would you call that? Kind of the damage effects, or you know, the stuff that's coming out of the panel or something like that, like it's exploding. It was rocks. It was like foam rocks that they would use on like other TV series or something like that, and you would see the rocks falling. Anyways, if you go check out the Junk Ball, I'm sure he will have that up there. But first time I seen that. Probably about a year or two ago, they were talking about that. I'm like, rocks, really? Holy cow! I never realized that. So there you go. Maybe just put some rocks in there. Maybe just put some rocks. But again, they took the Enterprise. They took the Enterprise from the TV series, and they brought it into the very first movie. And what did they do? Old Deanna Troi just crashed the whole thing. So they actually came out with a brand new Enterprise just for the next movie or something like that. So even still, you couldn't even do just the same old Enterprise with the rocks and all the other stuff. And I mean, even now that you think about it, even Captain Kirk was killed by rocks. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, people say it was the bridge, but really it was the rocks on top of it. So there you are. There you are. Rocks, plaster, and glitter. I'm not sure if there was any glitter in there. I'll have to go back and check. But very cool. Anyways, do go check out a channel called Junk Ball. You'll have to look it up. I don't have the link right in front of me there, but there you go. Pretty funny stuff out there. There you are. Harrison Ford, looking to the sky there. Looking to the sky. All right, let's see. We did the Transformers thing. Let me go back. Let me just circle my way back here. Circle my way back. At comicbook.com out here. Predator versus Wolverine. Announced by Marvel. This is from Kofi Outlaw. Let me see if I can bring up the cover here. 1 second. Oops, that's not it. Where is it here? Here we go. Predator versus Wolverine is happening. If you haven't been keeping track, Marvel has been the new home, oh, for crying out loud, the new home of both Alien and the Predator comic book series. And now the latter is ready to collide with the X-Men franchise. I can't believe they haven't done this, like, in the past. It's an okay cover. The cover looks decent. I've seen better comic book covers, but not bad. Not bad. Marvel writer Benjamin Percy is putting his stamp on the rebooted X-Men universe with the Wolverine solo series X-Force and big events in the time-spanning story of the mutination of Krakatoa. Oh wait, Krakoa. Krakoa? Yeah, we'll go with that. That makes Percy a perfect fit for the time-spanning battle between the Predator race and a target like Wolverine, who could take on generations of Predators in battle. He says, I'm not going to say I was born to write this crossover, but sometime the universe reveals why you were created. He says, I'm a child of the 80s. I can't tell you how many times I've watched Predator. And I just can't tell you how many Wolverine comics I have, because that would mean, that would be like me telling you how many breasts I've taken or cheeseburgers I've eaten. The mythologies of both are ingrained in me so deeply, they might as well be strands of DNA or wisp of soul. Wow, he's really talking this up. The guns, claws, beef, and blood of both franchises have been stewing in my brain since 1987. When I read myself to sleep every night with a stack of Marvel comics, and my friends and I used to play Predator with Nerf guns in the wood and a river near our neighborhood. The epic hunt will span decades as both of these giants learn and harden and grow deadlier with time. He says, Percy added, neither will have time to bleed, but you better make time to read. That's pretty good. I like that. Neither will have time to bleed, but you better make time to read, because I'm putting everything into this event, and I'm thrilled to join forces with some of the best artists in the business. There you go. So there you go. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's see. Greg Land, Andrea DeVito, Ken Lashy, Key Zama, and many more. So there you go. There you go. He really talked that up. I gotta say that's a pretty good way of talking up Predator versus Wolverine. There you go. There you go. I never figured out the whole like, you know, cave in your stomach a little bit and jump back while somebody's like trying to like stab you or swipe at you. I don't know if they teach that in the dojo or not, but always looks kind of odd because it looks like he would take his right arm there and just like, all right, Wolverine, you missed, slice. There you go. Probably Predator could just like stand off from the distance, you know, and be cloaked or whatever it is, and just zap him every. Well, I guess I'd probably not because they want the fight, right? They don't want to be like, he's the Predator, not like Joe Schmo. Let me shoot, fish in a barrel type thing. But not bad, not bad. Seen better covers, but not bad. Predator versus Wolverine. Let's see. Grant says it looks more like Weapon X than Wolverine. Interesting. Amy says the cover looks decent. Looks decent. Damning with faint praise there. Amy says, I wish I had a cheeseburger. Bear wishes that too. Of course he can't have cheese because he's lactose intolerant. Anywho. Let's see. Kofi Outlaw and comicbook.com out there. Very cool. Very cool. Kind of an interesting matchup. I mean, they've had, Predator versus whoever. So, hey, why not? Why not do Wolverine? What the heck, man? Although it'd probably never be a movie. It'd probably have to be like PG-13 or something like that. I don't know. Grant says, I just had a big omelet, so I'm good now, versus the food talk. Well, we will get right into food talk here. Not really. Bear knows his audience, and his audience wants crypto talk. Yes, indeed. From Cointelegraph and somebody, Martin Young. Oh, breaking, people, breaking news. Binance U.S. suspends U.S. dollar deposits, warns of fiat withdrawal pause. By the way, people, there's only one show that can seamlessly go between Predator versus Wolverine and crypto talk. Binance US says the moves are part of efforts to protect customers and the platform amid, quote, extremely aggressively, and intimidating tactics by the SEC. I tell you, they just want Alabama to win every single year. Binance US has announced the suspension of US dollar deposits and has notified its customers of an incoming pause to fiat withdrawal channels as early as June 13th. So if you've got your money in Binance, you want it out, and you want some of those sweet, sweet greenbacks, you got about 3 days. Better hurry up. Better hurry up. Most bears don't do well with cow's milk. It's true. Actually, no, it was great. Love some cow's milk. Oh, for crying out loud. Used to have chocolate milk every morning. Crying out loud. And pizzas. Oh, bear can eat a pizza. And don't get me started on Italian food. Every time he sees Guy Ferrari going, some diner someplace, like, I know he's gonna talk about freaking Italian food. It's like, that looks great, but I can't do it. Crying out loud. Let's see. Sometimes goat milk can be a workaround. This is true. No, it's true. Bears been enjoying goat milk. We tried in the past to do goat milk's pizza. Goat milk just kind of like it melts, but it also separates. So the sort of, I guess what you would call the milk part separates from the oil. So it's no good. Bears been experimenting. Tried Parmesan cheese and oh god, what was that? Some Gruyere. I think some Gruyere. If you age the cheese enough, it takes out a lot of the lactate. So it's a little bit of experiment. One of these days, Beer will he'll open up his own pizza joint that'll be lactose free. Kind of like opening up a bar with non-alcoholic beverages. But we'll go with it. We will go with it. Where the heck am I, man? On June 9th, Binance US announced that it was forced to take action amid, quote, extremely aggressive and intimidating tactics from the United States Security and Exchange Commission. The firm noted, in an effort to protect its customers and platform, it's suspending US dollar deposits. Furthermore, Binance US is, quote, notifying customers that our banking partners, are preparing to pause fiat US dollar withdrawal channels as early as June 13th. There you go. The company added it plans to transition to a crypto-only exchange, but maintains a 1-to-1 ratio for customers' assets. Not anymore. The notice also cautioned that any downtime in processing withdrawals going forward, quote, may be the result of elevated volumes and weekend bank closures. Trading, staking deposits, and withdrawals in crypto, remain fully operational, it confirmed. But if you want real money, you're screwed. As a result of the SEC's ideological campaign against the American digital asset industry, Binance and its banking partners have faced increased challenges. Well, number one, it would help if you didn't have so many scams, rug pulls, and just basic criminal activity on your platform there. That would help. That would help, number one. Number two, the whole point of digital crypto is to keep it decentralized. So stupid Binance centralizes everything. So all the US SEC has to do is go straight to Binance rather than 10,000 or 100,000 individuals. So in their quest to make a whole lot of money, Binance screwed over a whole bunch of people. Those banking partners have signaled their intent to sever fiat on-ramps in the exchange. U.S. dollar deposits will be suspended as of June. That was yesterday. Holy cow. Sorry, people. Your deposits have been suspended. The U.S. Dollar trading pairs will be delisted next week. However, it will continue to support Tether, all for crying out loud. Haven't we learned our lesson? Tether is supposed to be a stable, quote-unquote stable coin. It's stated that any U.S. dollars left on the exchange might be converted into a stablecoin that can be withdrawn on-chain. So there you go. Oh boy. Unless it's worth less than the actual dollar amount. Binance US delisted 8 Bitcoin pairs into Bitcoin US dollars, I think, pairs on June 8th. While noting that the OTC trading portal services were paused, BTC trading at a premium on the exchange in early May. The SEC issued an emergency order on June 6th to freeze the assets of Binance US. The following day, the firm reassured customers that assets remain safe. Yes, sure, trust us. Adding that the platform continues to be fully operational with deposits and withdrawals functioning as normal. Yes, you give us money and we take it. Cointelegraph reported on the struggles Binance US was having securing banking partners way back in April. Yeah, I stopped talking about it around then, but there you go. Some interesting news from the world of crypto. Oh, we're still talking about cheese. Okay. You can get the enzymes to digest milk and eat them before you snitch some of Timmy's birthday pizza. There we go. I tried that, and, it's hit or miss sometimes. Hit or miss. Yeah, they do. Gosh, I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's been a while. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it, but they do have it. But no, the better way to do it is just try to find like an aged cheese out there. Just do an aged cheese. So, like Parmesan, you have to find the Parmesan that's been aged, but Parmesan you can do just fine. A lot of the softer cheeses, you can't do because they haven't been aged that much. But if you go and find Bear can do an aged cheddar cheese if it's aged, I think it's been like a year and a half. If I recall correctly, maybe it's different cheeses. So Bear can't remember right off the top of his head there, but they have different aged, like for example cheddar cheese. That's okay because it takes out a lot of the lactate. But the rest, yeah, you really got to hit or miss. And man, boy oh boy, you don't want to be behind Bear in the bathroom after a nice cheese pizza. Brie is Grant's favorite. I'm assuming cheese and not Larson. Assuming cheese and not Larson. Well, let me grab a sip here. It is, by the way, people, if you weren't here at the beginning of the show, it is National Iced Tea Day. Beer is almost finished off his iced tea. That might be a signal for Beer here. Do we want to do this? I don't know. We were talking about the surreptitiously named Human Rights Campaign. Talking about some of the LGBTQ plus. I forgot the T. For crying out loud. Whatever. They're part of the. Isn't the T a plus anyways? Why do they really need the T? Couldn't the plus serve two different things there? I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. Probably. You probably should do that. Anyways, a state of emergency, people. State of emergency out there, people. For the first time ever. So yeah, this is the folks that you wonder why Target, Bud Light, Nike. What are some of the other ones out there? I forget. Anyways, all the companies out there that are okay. Well, let's just tank our stock value by putting up rainbow flags everywhere, and like Cracker Barrel had some sort of pride thing, and it's like Cracker Barrel. we just want to go to eat there, man. We don't need all this other stuff. So, Human Rights Campaign, they do all of that. You got to be on their good list. You got to be in the upper percentile. You got to have all the check mark boxes out there. Otherwise, they're gonna come get you. They've moved on from companies to just go to states out there, to states. So there you go. Human Rights Campaign, the nation's largest LGBTQ plus civil rights organization, officially declared a state of emergency for those people in the United States for the first time in more than 40-year history. What does a state of emergency mean? Does it give you extra powers that you didn't already have? What does that even mean? It almost looks like you're drumming up donations. Almost. Following an unprecedented and dangerous spike in anti-LGBTQ plus legislative assaults. So basically, if you pass a law, if you go through the legal process of going to your state representative or state governor or something like that. Hey, can we not put all the weird stuff in the schools? We can still keep them, in the bookstores and everything. That's fine, whatever. If people want to buy them, but can we keep them out of the schools? That is an assault sweeping state houses this year, people. Just remember, your speech is violence, and their violence is speech. A new report released by HRC today details more than 75 anti-LGBTQ plus bills that have been signed into law this year alone, more than doubling last year's number, which was previously the worst on record. Why? The sharp rise in anti-LGBTQ plus measures has spawned a dizzying patchwork of discriminatory state laws that have created increasingly hostile and dangerous environments for those people, prompting HRC today to also issue a national warning and a downloadable guidebook for the LGBTQ plus community, including health and safety records, a summary of state-by-state laws, know your rights, information, and resources designed to support the LGBTQ plus travelers, as well as those already living in hostile states. The guidebook will arm LGBTQ plus people with the resources and information to help ensure safety in all 50 states. So there you go. They got their book out. What does it say? Florida stands at the forefront. They fight against these oppressive laws now. Oh, we do? We do. Well, I hate to break it to you, but you need to tell Meatball Ron about that. Meatball Ron. Blah 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 blah. Natalie Smith. Oh, Natalie. Yeah, you can move up to wherever. Doesn't matter to me. Whatever. Anyhow, yeah, they're sports bands. Hey, if you're a dude, playing the dude sports. If you're a lady, play the lady sports. That is an emergency, people. A national emergency. Gender-affirming care bans. Hey, if you're under the age of 18, if you can't buy cigarettes, you probably shouldn't have your wang cut off. That's just, simple things there. Bathroom bans. They're not banning the bathroom. They're just saying, hey, if you're a dude, go in the one with the urinals. And if you're a lady, go in the one with the powder makeup and all that sort of stuff. 14.8% of transgender people age 13 apply, for crying out loud. 13, that's what we're going. Over 110,000 transgender people over age 13 plus. 13 plus. Live in states where they're also being... Okay, well, hold on. 110,000 with however many states. What was that? Like 30 states, right? So 110,000, 30 states. Let's just say they're the least populated states. So let's just say all 50 states. What would you folks say? Half a million? Half a million transgender people from 13 plus in the entire United States. Half a million people in 300 million people in the whole United States. I think we're worried about a lot of the small fraction of people out there. Small fraction of people. Small fraction. Uh-oh, Florida parent Daniel. When a child's basic needs are not being met, or when a child is neglected or endangered at home, Child Protective Services is called. Daniel, have you ever had CPS called on you, sir? But what happens when it's the state that's endangering the child? Oh, when the state is not allowing basic needs to be met, said Daniel, the dad of a transgendered young person in Florida. Really? They moved to Minnesota. Really? So you're going to go from Florida to Minnesota in the winter. Let me guess, Daniel's going to be really forlorning in, January or February. Gosh, why did we move from Florida again? Oh, we have become our own version of Child Protective Services and removed our child from the danger and neglect of the state. Well, good riddance, sir. Good riddance, sir. Good riddance. Anyways, Human Rights Campaign, looking for donations, declares a state of emergency, people. State-o-emergency. Terrible. Terrible. Oh gosh, I got a whole lot of chats here. Let me get out of this. Hold on, people. Do the thing with the thing here. Okay, blah 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 blah, yada yada yada. Here we go. There we are. There, an elderly Indiana Jones looking to the sky, saying, "Take me now, Lord." I had the cup right there in my hand, and now I'm just an old man. Amy says, I think it's Worldwide Knitting Day, too. Well, there we go, people. More than one. It's kind of hard to knit at the same time you're drinking your iced tea. Grant says, if you live in the north and visit the south, beware, people, of the iced tea. Getting too close may cause a spike in blood glucose. Yes, indeed. Most iced tea in the South can also be used as hummingbird feeders. Yes, indeed. That is some sweet tea. Horribly sweet, he says. Horribly sweet. My friend has to mix it with sugarless tea, which luckily they usually also have. Yeah, it's called half and half. Do half and half, people. That's usually when you go to, sometimes what would that be? Like Whataburger or something like that. The tea is really strong. So just get the unsweetened stuff, mix it up half and half, and there you go. Or you can do it with the lemonade, the Arnold Palmer. Just gotta add a little bit more ice, because the lemonade, sweet as well. Sweet as well. There you go, Amy. She says add some lemon. Perfect. Protecting children is an assault on anyone who isn't a criminal. This is true. It's weird. Protect the children is the new All Lives Matter. Oh, God. Bear does not want to go there. Bear does not want to go there at all. If you can't have a tattoo, says AB, no elective surgery. That's true. I can't believe they were doing 13 plus. This is where we're going to draw the line. 13 years old. It's like, oh, Lord, if they try to, you're still... You don't even know your body at that... your body's going through a whole bunch of changes at 13. And, you haven't even quite settled on adolescence, much less adulthood. So it's like, oh, yeah, we're gonna cause this life-altering surgery to you at age 13. Whether you might need it or not. A lot of it, gosh, I didn't bring up the article here. A lot of it has to do with, what do they call that? Gender dysphoria? Is that how you pronounce it? Essentially comes back to, essentially just, you're trying to figure out, your body itself, and it doesn't have anything to do with sexuality or... gender or sex even. Just basic, who am I as a person? So if you have an adult come in and say, by the way, this is who you are. You're going to be my new purse puppy. You little Jimmy are now little Janie, and we're going to go to the doctor tomorrow at age 13 and loppy doppy. And, probably, Bear's just going to go ahead and say it, a little bit of a child abuse there. So, yes, Child Protective Services should come in if you're trying to, your child's, sticking berries down there. So, yeah, that's not good. Not good at all. Hummingbird tea, yes indeed. Very, very strong. Very strong. Even the birds are like, oh, there we go. Actually, you can probably go and see if you want to check it out. You might have to go back a little ways. Beer has a couple hummingbird videos on the channel, so if you want to go check that out, we had the one where the two hummingbirds were fighting each other. So that was kind of an interesting one. Had to slow it down and phone camera, so it wasn't like the best looking video out there. But yeah, hummingbirds fighting. There you go. Pretty cool. Hummingbirds need the calories. As long as they're eating mosquitoes. Bears, please eat as many as possible. As many as possible out there. All right, people. Beer is running down to the last of it here. Let me see if I got anything else here. Let me see. Did I pull in everything? Oh, Beer didn't have any campaign updates. Let me see if I can bring this into OBS. There's a new book out there. What is it? Writhe and Payne? Oh, I get it now. Writhe and Payne. From who's this from? Oh, Mark Polton. Mark Polton and Chris Graves out there. So let me see if I can bring this just real quickly in. 1 second, people. 1 second. I like the cover art. Not really interested in the book per se, but let's see here. Where did I put that? Where? Let's see. Here we go. Kind of interesting. I like the colors on here. Really like the colors on here. Let me get rid of that. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good there. Don't know anything about the book. Don't know anything, what's going on with it or anything like that. I noticed the old demonic stuff on his gloves, I suppose there. So, anyways, there we go. There is that. There's that, so if you want to go check that out, let's see. It is on Indiegogo. Let's see. And Fund My Comic. Beer might do something with, sometimes Beer does campaign reviews. Hey, how's the campaign look? Here's, what the tiers are and all that sort of stuff. Beer might want to try and do a Fund My Comic review out there. Just kind of see what they have going on there. Beer's biggest thing is cybersecurity. If they've got good cybersecurity, then it might be something to look into. But otherwise, you're just putting a target on your back and trying to do very secure payment processing on a website that's started up by a bunch of people that are. I'm sure they've done plenty of web work in the past, but I don't want to say amateurs, but new in the field of it out here. So that would be Bear's biggest question. There is Fund My Comic. Are they going to be good on the cybersecurity, keeping people's addresses secure and credit cards secure as well? So that. Probably the Fund My Comic is going to be coming under probably denial of service attacks or probably a number of other things. So I've seen a couple of is the guy's name Paul, something like that. One of the people that does the Fund My Comic site. Mainly they're talking about, hey, this is how you get your book on here. This is what we do, yada yada. Haven't really heard too much about cybersecurity. So Would like to hear a little bit more about that before Bear goes in and says, yes, go to, what was it called? Fund My Comic. Fund My Comic out there. Indiegogo, listen, we got our problems. Bear has a whole list of campaigns that's shadow banned out there. Do probably need to either move on or in addition to Indiegogo out there, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. Fund My Comic or, each individual book out there, are they going to come out with their own site? Shane Davis has his Nine Lives comic website. Ripperverse, he has his own thing, so we'll see. We'll see. It's still kind of early and still kind of shaking out there. So there you go. There is Writhe in Payne. Writhe in Payne. Grant says, don't care much for this cover. Well, okay. I thought the colors were good. Let's see. Grant says, first time I saw a hummingbird, I thought it was an insect. Wow, that's a big insect. A duel of hummingbirds. It's true. I hope they weren't fighting over the tea. I'm sure there's enough to go around. Probably more territorial. But yeah, they were fighting over the hummingbird feeder. Yeah, you'd have one come in and try to get his food out there, and the other one would come by and kind of do like a diving attack, like a Stuka bomber, just crash, and they ended up kind of like a Wild West, standoff where they were like hovering in midair, kind of eye to eye. Like, I'm gonna get after you, pal. No, I'm gonna get after you. And then they, it's kind of interesting where they were dive bombing each other and trying to knock. One of them hit the other guy, hit him and then knocked him into, I forget, either a post or something like that. He bounced off the post and then flew off away. And the winner went over there to the hummingbird feeder and got himself a drink. So there you go. A good, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Something battle royale, something battle like Rex versus so and so or something like that. It was pretty good. You might need to go back about a year. Or so. But yeah, go ahead and look that up. Probably should put some of the nature stuff in its own playlist there. But there you go. Just totally screwing up YouTube. It's like, Bear, what are you doing with your channel here? You're supposed to be talking about comics, but then you talk about food and Bitcoin, and you're showing videos of hummingbirds and sunsets. Like, what the hell, man? What the heck's going on with all this stuff? Let's see. They're such magnificent little creatures, aren't they? Says Amy. Well, yeah, they're pretty cool. Pretty cool out there. Grant is not a bird fan. Well, learned something new about Grant today. You can think of them as large insects, I suppose. That's the last of the tea, people. Last of the tea. Let's see. Amy says a true cybersecurity is important. Yeah, it is. Especially, it's small time now. I think some of the campaigns are, $6,000-$8,000 or something like that. Maybe 10 or 12. It's just started up in like the past month or so. So, just starting to get out there. I'm sure once the blue-haired weirdos hear about all this stuff, yeah, it's gonna probably come under attack. Probably denial of service at first, and then we'll see. We'll see if they go after credit card numbers and all that other stuff. So, make sure it's not in plain text, people. Come on. Simple stuff out here. Grant says the colors are striking. There you go. Well, I just took it off, but there you go. Go back to it. There you go. I mean, you really can't go wrong with orange and blue. That's those two primary colors that play off against each other. So yeah, looks pretty good. But I mean, I don't know. I would say this cover is better than the Wolverine cover, right? I mean, I would say so. It looks a lot better. Book, I have no idea. I have no idea about the book, but there you go. Looks. That's why Bear says, hey, some of the Comics Gate covers are looking a lot better. So there you go. There you go. Let's see. Great to see Melissa. Great to see Melissa out here. Beer's glad he hung on for just a couple extra minutes here. Got to see Melissa. We were all over the place. Let's see, we were talking about Indiana Jones. We were talking about, oh gosh, what the heck? We started off with The Punisher. They killed off The Punisher for some reason. Predator is fighting Wolverine in a new comic. Indiana Jones, not looking so hot out there. They're projecting $60 million, which is pretty low for a tentpole movie on July 4th weekend. So we'll see. We'll see about that. Talked a little bit about the Transformers movie, and what was the other one? I forget. Spider-Man. Spider-Man out there. Crypto talk as well. Had to fit in some crypto talk. Of course, food talk. Bear knows his audience out there. And then, of course, Hummingbirds, sweet tea, LGBTQ plus, and everything in between. Everything in between there. So, it is a wide-ranging show out here, people. Wide-ranging. Well, thank you, Amy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Anyways, let me go back and thank. I don't know if Derpy's still here. Great to see Derpy, as always. Beer starts out. He's talking about one thing, and Derpy's like, "Oh, well, Indiana, you've got the whole thing with Indy. It's right there in the freaking title, right there." And Beer's talking about other stuff. So, Derpy, if you're still around, thank you, sir. Amy and Melissa, as always great to see Grant. Hopefully, either the notifications worked or the post work. One or the other. So hopefully people are notified with one or the other out there. Otherwise, hey, 8 p.m. Saturday, Wednesday, you know where. It's bear. It's bear time. Yes, indeed. So I want to thank everybody out there. And, of course, all of our lurkers and Russian bots. We do appreciate each and every one of you. But you know what? Amy got notification. Great. That's good. Bear's heard. Sometimes it's like late or something like that. So you never know. But if it's 8 o'clock, Bear's probably a minute or two behind. But if it will come out eventually. It will be here eventually, people. But you know what, people? All of this talk, iced tea, burgers. What else were we talking about? Cheeses. All this talk. It's making Bear hungry. So he's gonna head back into the woods. So until next time, people, grrr.